Hey guys, welcome back to Easy Recaps. Today I will show you a crime, drama, and fantasy film from 2017 titled Death Note. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. A boy named Light is shown at the beginning of the film. At that time, Light was at his school. Suddenly the seasonal changes occur. Winds begin to blow and a notebook falls on the earth from the sky. Light finds that notebook and he scrutinizes it. And he keeps it in his possession. Here it is exposed. This was not an ordinary notebook but a mysterious ancient notebook. Then it starts raining there. Light observes and goes inside. That a mischievous student of the school is teasing another boy of the school. And Light forbids him to do such. While that boy punches Light in return. Light falls on the ground along with his bag. The teacher discovers the home assignments of other students from Light's bag. Here the secret of Light is revealed that he helps out the other students in their home assignments. Light is sent to the principal for this reason. Light is kept in a room isolated as a punishment. Sitting in isolation, he recalls that ancient notebook. Then he begins to read that book. It was not a normal notebook, but it was stuffed with the statements of rules. There were also rules and regulations to keeping this notebook. This notebook belongs to the centuries ago. Light senses something weird, getting this notebook. Then mysterious things start happening when he is examining this notebook. Light observes a weird thing there. It was not a human being but another creature. It was giving a heinous and devilish look, having a pointed body surface. Light is scared too much, witnessing him. But he understands everything later that he is not any creature but a death spirit. And this death spirit is the owner of this notebook. Death Spirit tells Light about the reality of this notebook and what it can do. There are some specific notes in this book that have been called death notes. And the keeper of this book is the owner of this notebook. It means Light was the owner of this notebook at that time. The important fact of this notebook is that written name of any person on its death note will soon die. The owner of the notebook can kill anyone according to his liking. As Light can write any way of killing in the notebook after selection. Then the victim will die according to the written statement. But the owner will have to follow some of the rules for doing so. Light does not trust in it right then. Death Spirit tells Light, you have to write at least a name in the notebook within 7 days. This notebook will be owned by another person if he does not write the name of anyone, disobeying the rule. The condition to write the name of anyone in a notebook is that owner must know the face and real name of that person. And only one way of death will be written which exists in reality. Death Spirit says to Light, you must apply this notebook. Then Light looks at that mischievous boy through the room window, who was also teasing someone else at that time, and he had also hit Light. Being agreed with Death Spirit, Light writes down the name of that boy in the notebook. He writes the way of death for that boy as his head will be crushed. Then the side of outside is shown which immediately changes. 2 cars collide with each other. While one car had the iron ladders in it with which that boy's head was crushed in reality. Everyone with Light is left shocked, witnessing it. Seeing, Light had started to believe that the told facts by Death Spirit are based on truth. So Light is very frightening. Death Spirit tells Light that you can do many things with the help of this book. I will give this notebook to another one if you don't want to have this notebook. Afterward, Light returns to his house. Light's father is seen in the house, who was a detective. Then it is shown that a criminal had killed Light's mother a few years ago. But that criminal was wandering freely because of having no evidence. So there was not a good association between father and son due to this. Light is angered with his father, saying, you are not avenging my mother. Light used to be upset because of this reality. Then Light hits upon the idea that he may write the name of that crime in that death note. And he does the same. He writes down the name of the criminal in the death note. Then the same criminal is shown who is celebrating a party with his buddies. All of a sudden, he is dead in front of everyone. The father and son are satisfied, hearing the death news of that criminal. Here Light avenges his mother, and the relationship between both father and son was also restored. Then Light thinks, how did this notebook's magic be used for a good purpose? Light was pondering it, sitting at the school. Then a girl named Mia comes to him. Mia is the good friend of Light, so he reveals his secret to her. That I have found a mysterious book. Any person is dead whose name is written in it. But Mia does not trust it. Light shows the Mia demonstration to prove it, where a killer arrives on the scene. Light writes down about the killer in Death Note, as he will be dead when a car crashes with him. It happens the same because Light knew the real name and face of that killer in his mind. Mia is left surprised, witnessing it. They plan that we are the owner of great power, so we will eradicate the evilest persons from this world. Evilest people include criminals, murderers, and threatening people. For doing so, the face and the real name could easily be explored through the internet. So they put the evil people's names on the list. And the evil people also begin to meet their fate gradually. Here it is also revealed that the notebook's owner can hold sway over the dying person. Light had chosen a name for himself, which was Kira, as Light used to write the name Kira whenever someone died. So the evilest people may leave doing the wrong deed after being terrorized by this name. That Kira has arrived to end all criminals and evilest people. At first sight, this news has gone viral throughout the world. That a serial killer Kira has come who is continuing to kill everyone. And some people were favoring Kira. In this way, the evilest people will be rooted out of the world. He was a killer, so the police wanted to search for him. There was no evidence against Light, so it was not easy to detect him. Then an intelligence investigator is hired to tackle this case. That investigator's name was L. He was very sharp. He used to mask his face, and his real name was also unknown to anyone. Light and Mia were very satisfied in their life. They had killed more than 400 people. LD scales in a meeting that, Kira, reveal yourself before everyone. Being intelligent, L investigates the roots of this case. L also takes the companionship of Light's father because he was a detective. So they may reach Kira as soon as possible. Light and Mia are upset because they had not thought that it will be conspired to arrest them, because they were still content. But L's arrival had increased their anxiety. Light asks his father, what will be the punishment of Kira if he is caught? Light's father says, half of the population will demand that Kira should be sentenced to death, while half of the population will be forced to investigate the way he did it. Knowing it, Light's anxiety is increased. He also reveals it to Mia, and he suggests to her that we should stop it now, because there were many people, including Light, under the suspicion of L, because he could approach the data of his father. So L assigns a duty of an agent to detect Light, so he may keep an eye on the activities of Light. Knowing it, Light keeps himself calm. Mia feels bad realizing the lack of interest in a notebook by Light, because Mia was feeling the pleasure of killing people. L had become a hindrance in the way of Light and Mia, but they cannot kill him despite their will, because neither they had seen his face nor they got knowledge of his real name. It was also the rule of the notebook. Light and Mia are talking over it. The names of all agents should be written down in this notebook who are detecting Kira, so other agents may be terrorized by Kira, and they have to close this case reluctantly. It was the suggestion of Mia, while Light was not willing to do any such thing. because he was not willing to take the life of innocent people. So Mia has to agree with Light. Contrarily, Elle also comes to know that Kira has victimized those people who have been shown on TV. And Kira cannot victimize those whose faces and names are unrevealed before him. To avoid the suspicion, Light decides that he will not kill people for some days. Suddenly, an incident occurs as all agents commit suicide, jumping off the building. Who were the agents of this case searching for Kira? These names had not been written by Light. Who had written their names? Here the situation is worsened. Because Kira was just killing the evilest prop till now. People were tagging him as a hero. But he had killed the police now. So he turned into a threat who can take the life of anyone. Light is troubled because of this incident. He asks Death Spirit, "Have you committed it?" Then Death Spirit tells that these names have been written by anyone else. Because I cannot do it. Light's father challenges Kira in his seminar that, "Stop killing innocent people. Kill me if you have courage. Come before everyone." This news was being watched by Mia and Light. Mia says to him in aggression, "Write down the name of your father in that notebook." He says, "Mia, how can I kill my father? Are you gone mad?" Elle was more wisely tackling this case. He inspects whether Kira will kill Light's father or not. But it does not happen. Light's father remains alive, so Elle's suspicion of Light is turned into belief. Because Light's father is also a detective, tackling this case. But he did not become the victim of Kira. So Kira is not anyone else but Light. So Elle confronts Light at night. He attempts to explore from him that, "You are Kira." Elle also interrogates Light, revealing his face. He says, "Stop doing it now." Light leaves, overlooking him. Now the sword of Damocles hangs over his head. He could not kill Elle in spite of his wish. Mia says to Elle, "I had a great affection for you. We should do something to avoid this trouble." Light thinks a lot to keep Elle out of his way. He says, "I have seen the face of Elle. And Elle's real name will surely be known by his friend." Light writes down the name of Elle's friend in that notebook. And he gets control of him. Now the notebook's one more rule is revealed here. That person will be secured, getting no harm if the owner burns the person's name page. But Death Spirit exposes Light, it will be done only once. Now Elle's friend was under the control of Light. But he was also unaware of the real name of Elle. Light orders him, know about the real name of Elle at any rate. Elle's friend says, Elle used to visit an academy, and it is possible that his documents may have his real name. So Light immediately asks him to visit the academy. Elle's friend carries out the order and moves to the academy. Light had planned that knowing the real name of Elle, he will burn that page where Elle's friend's name has been written. And he will be secured. And everything will come on its routine. Elle also suspects that his friend is missing. He also understands the whole story that Light had also taken hold of him to know my real name. Elle is distressed. And he comes to Light's house without informing. He tells Light's father, "Your son is the real Kira. It is he who has disappeared, my friend." But Light was not in the state of being suspected. Because there was no evidence against him. Elle finds nothing in their house while discovering it, nor that ancient notebook. Because Mia had taken it away with her. Then Light receives the call of Elle's friend who says, "I have reached the academy." And he had little time left. Elle's friend is nearly to reveal the name. Then Light checks, there is no page of the name but has disappeared when he is going to burn it. So Elle's friend is dead before telling the name. Light is dejected on it. Then Mia reveals this secret at a dance party that, "I have torn the name page of Elle's friend." Moreover, I had also written the name of the agents in that notebook. She tells him that I have also written your name in that notebook now. And the way of Light's death is this: his heartbeat will stop working at midnight, leaving him dead. She says, I will burn the page of your name if you hand over this notebook to me. It means Mia flirts with him in order to gain that book. Knowing about the death of his friend, Elle struggles hard to arrest Light. At last, Elle catches Light. But Elle says to a cook standing there, he is Kara. Help me to capture him, but that cook knocks Elle out. Because he was the defender of Kara. Elle also takes Mia with him while running. Then they came in the swing and caught upward. Meanwhile, the police also reached there. Light says to Mia, you will not touch this notebook if you love me. We will mutually bring things in their correct form. Being greedy, Mia disagrees with him. She grabs that notebook from Light. Light says to Mia, seeing it, you have wronged it at all. Hearing it, Mia gets understanding. Light has written her name in this notebook. Their names were on the pages of the notebook, so both immediately fell down. Mia is dead on the spot, but Light falls into the water. Then Light is shown in the hospital, which had gone into a coma. Meanwhile, more criminals are also dead. People notice that Elle had a suspicion about Light, who has gone into a coma. And people are still dying. Then it is observed that a page was separated from that notebook when Mia and Elle were falling down from the swing. And it is burnt. And that page had the written name Light. Light had acted wisely. As when he knew that Mia had written his name in the notebook, then he wrote in the book, Mia will be dead if she takes back that notebook from him. And the page, which has the name Light, will be burnt. And Light will fall into the water. He had also written the names of the evilest persons in the book. A corrupt doctor makes Light deeply unconscious, bringing him out of the water. Later, the same doctor commits suicide. Then another man takes that notebook. He writes about many evil people in that notebook. Afterward, that man brings the notebook to Light, who had come out of the coma. After this, Elle is terminated, but he discovers Mia's house for the last time. And he gets the name of dead police officers. So all allegations are put on Mia. Light had also recovered completely and also gained that notebook. But he had learned a lesson that he will not trust anyone from now on. And the movie is also completed in this scene.